Help! Well, hey there. Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. I'm Joe Mama, your host. You've probably noticed my YouTube channel has been a little bit quiet over the weekend, but as I warned you previously, weekends and me recording don't work, but I have not been doing nothing. As you notice, you can already kind of see there are some changes. In fact, let's see. We've got depleted uranium ammunition being produced, so that's cool. In fact, I'm thinking I might increase that amount. Why don't we do that? At least by 40%. Actually, this would be increasing it by 66%. Okay. And, grab that. Because I found out all the work I'd been doing, very little of it was nuclear related, and because of that, I'd sort of been letting my nuclear fuel production go unattended, and because of that, my nuclear waste, all this uranium-238, actually filled up all the crates that had been slated aside to store it, and so I had to, let's see, if I go down here, all these crates were full, so I had to add more crates. You probably can't tell, but I've added 12 crates per side, and they are in the process of being filled up again, and my nuclear waste is also built up, and it too is trying to process through the backup. But let's take a look at the rest of the base, and while all this may look familiar, all this probably doesn't. Most of this is new. In fact, we've got this massive smelting area here. I've got, let's see, 8. Okay, each of these smelting arrays has 24 electric furnaces, and there are 8 arrays dedicated to iron plate production. There are 8 dedicated to copper plate production. And then there are 4 dedicated to creating iron plates for 4 more that create steel. So I've got basically 12 belts worth of materials coming over here and producing green chips, along with copper coils for making red chips. And the red chips and the green chips are coming over here and combining to make blue chips. So we've got that going. Plus, I relocated an oil refinery. The oil refinery is down here. Let's see, what are we at? Oh yeah, we're starting to build up our petroleum gas again. That is good. Okay. So I've got 30 refineries, and a bunch of the refineries, actually, I think 16 of them, are dedicated toward producing just petroleum gas, and that's actually working out pretty well. I've got solid fuel down here as well, and that's working on creating rocket fuel, which I've got over there. And let's see, I've even got some oil products from here being shipped over to the old refinery to help make up any gaps. Let's see, plastic. Okay, we're back up. Plastic is stacked up again. That's good, because for a while a bit it wasn't. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, okay. Ooh, wait a second. Ooh, okay, bad signaling there. Bad signaling there. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. So we need to put a signal here and here. I don't know why I didn't do that, but we'll try to remember to do that. And then take a look. Let's take a look at the big picture here. You remember last time we dropped off a whole bunch of solar radar sets, and you can see them all over the map, and they've opened up, and look at all the red. Okay, now because of that, because of all that red, and plus the radar sets, I dropped a few off here, including some that I put way out in the middle of the ocean using landfill. I've determined that this is a good place to put industry, because the pollution will not reach any biters, likely anyway. So I'm putting a whole bunch of stuff down here in this peninsula, and obviously mining makes a lot of pollution. I can't move it, but I'm doing what I can before I need to use this iron here. So I'm trying to keep to the interior of my base and pushing toward getting that space, getting space technology type stuff researched and materials prepared. But let's go over a bunch of stuff, actually, because I've learned a few things. Oh, by the way, has everybody bought the new soundtrack yet? They have actually come up with, they've composed 2 more hours of, like, Factorio music and ambiance, and I went ahead and, oh, it's like $7. I went ahead and got the what you call it. Okay, we're gonna want to get some more, belts, I think. I do want to show you a few things. There's just a bunch of stuff that's kind of been on my mind here. I want to show you. Oh, I've got yellow science being produced, and we'll show you all of that, what led to that. But the railroad situation is much more developed than it used to be. So you're going to see trains going everywhere, and still trying to figure out, you know, getting all my signals right. As you can see, there was some issues there. Okay, have I got undies? Underground? Undies. Alright. Undergroundies. And I think I do. Let's grab a few more. I've got a few logistics bots, but I do have a lot of construction bots. Oh, plus, let's see, let's go over here to the science lab, because we've got now 6 sciences. Can it be? We're going to come over here, and you can see we've already got one whole side full of science. That is a beautiful sight. So then when we start getting rocket science and the other sciences, we're going to feed it in from the bottom. That should be interesting. But toward that end, let's go down and pay a visit to our expanded factory down there. Like I said, showing you all that, you can see that we've increased the production of copper and steel and iron, and added to the production of sulfur. So we're making sulfuric acid down there, which allows us to make the blue chips. Okay, and we've got these cool gates now, so I can cross. Okay, is that train going to stop for us? Yes, it is. And the way this is set up, we'll go ahead and make some too, but I just kind of want to show you the purpose is that every time these gates open, it turns this signal red. Okay, it gives a red light to any trains that want to come into this area. And then if either of these gates open, it puts a red light in place for these guys. And also, to help that process, there's a chain signal over here. See it turned red? Now it's green. And, okay, now I know chain signals are supposed to be awesome, and I get that a lot of people swear by them. I don't use them very much at all. I haven't run into places where having a chain signal makes, or very, conspicuously makes my life better. If it does, if the situation exists, I'm not seeing it. And I'm sure there are probably situations where other people would look at what I'm doing and say, oh, well, if you had train signals, it does this. I get it. I'm sure that knowledge is out there, and I'm just not picking it up. And that's just my lizard brain. That doesn't mean that that y'all's ideas with chain signals are not good. My lizard brain is having a hard time wrapping my head around it. But what I do know about it is that a chain signal basically mimics the signal that's ahead of it. So if there's an actual rail signal, like right here is a rail signal that's green, this chain signal is mimicking that. You know what? I'm actually going to remove this signal right there. Okay. If I close this, or if I open this gate, it turns this signal red. This signal mimics it and says, hey, look out. The gate ahead is blocked. So you're going to want to slow down. And I guess if it stops the train there, then it would free up this whole block of track right here. So if there's something else, see, that train just stopped right there. And then it does the same for the inner gate, which is a huge deal. Okay, now we're going to let it go. So anyway, I just created this as a safe way to cross the tracks because I have destroyed both my train and my tank by not paying attention. And I think we'll probably end up doing another gate down here or something. But let's come down here. We're going to fix this signal. Just, it's a good opportunity to discuss a little bit about rail signals, but we're not going to get too deep into it. I don't even fully understand them, but what I do know, I know enough to make them work. I know enough to be able to put multiple trains on the same track, and I guess that's, if you can do that, do you really need to know any more than that? You know, like I said before, Stephen King, you know, in his book about writing said, hey, look, you don't have to have the greatest vocabulary in the world. You just need to do what suits you fine. And I think the same kind of goes for just about every, especially Factorio. It's so customizable. Do what works for you. You do you. So if you don't need to use train signals, if you can get by without using them, by all means, go ahead. Or by, especially, I mean, you're going to need signals to run more than one train, but if you don't need to use chain signals, so be it. Okay, see this right here? This, if there's because this is all like one block, if there's a train in here just parked, it's going to block this whole thing off, and that's not good. So what we need to do is we need to turn this Y intersection into a block. Okay, like that. Okay, that's now a block. And then we'll go up here and we'll turn this Y intersection into a block, and that signal's already there. So what that does, this train comes in. Okay, now this blue block right here, they color code it each time a block is segregated, is now occupied. But by occupying that, it doesn't preclude any trains from using that. There we go. Now it's open. So that parked train is no longer stopping incoming traffic. This block is green. So you can see the signal right here is green because this block is clear. And then it splits. The block here is clear, so the green light is there, but the block here on the spur, there's another word for it, the off, I can't remember the name, but the siding, that's what it is. It's a siding. The siding is occupied, so the light was red, but now that train's grown, so it's green again. So there we go. A little bit about train signals. All right, and for me, when I make these roundabouts, I basically make the roundabout, the entire thing, one block. Otherwise, you can actually get a yin and yang situation where two trains are stuck in the roundabout, but they are in each other's way and they can't move. It happens. So I found out it was easier to just turn it into one block, only one train in the roundabout at a time. And I have not run into significant traffic problems because of that, so that's good. Okay, another thing. A new feature with these trains, you see how this is sleeping right now? Okay, now first of all, one way to sort of clear traffic from the railroad tracks is to use these signals, use circuit networks. Which, learned something new this weekend. Took me like an hour to figure out. But you no longer have to make red wire and store it here. Or like, it used to be an option to make red and green wire for circuits, okay? You don't have to do that anymore. It took me forever to find it, but it's actually down here. Make red wire, make green wire. That's it. Now, what I've done... Here's, for example, this train right here brings lubricant to another stop, lubricant is produced here, loads up at this point onto this train, and it goes, I think it goes up here somewhere. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, it goes up here because for some reason I was thinking it would need to, and now I'm thinking it doesn't. I'm not quite sure what I'd need to produce. Blue belts, maybe? But once... Okay, I've set up this station right here with a circuit network with an enable, disable, check block checked. And I basically told it by stretching the green wire from the station all the way to this tank. And this is the tank that takes the load off the train. The train just fills this tank up, and then any production that requires it would pull off the tank as well. But right now there's nothing pulling off the tank. It's just sitting there. So there's no point in the train going back and forth to download zero lubricant because it can't fit. It can't fit any more lubricant. So I told the station, put it on the circuit network by running a green wire from the station to the tank. Okay. And I told it, look, when the tank is, you can enable the train station will turn back on. Right now it's disabled by control behavior. It's turned off. The train can't see it. So the train's not going to try to make it there. That's why it's sitting there idle, because it's disabled, because I checked this block, enable if the following is true. And you basically pick a signal right here, and I picked the signal of lubricant. Okay, we're measuring the amount of lubricant that's in the system. In that tank, there's 25,000 units of lubricant. So I told it, enable the station if the amount of lubricant is less than 20K. So when it drops below 80%, below 20K, the station will enable itself again, and then the train will come fill it up. But for now, it's disabled, and there's no sense of it. There's no sense in it coming to drop off anything in that tank. So save your fuel, sit there, and so now it's sitting idle in this station. I've done the same thing for these iron ore collection stations here and these copper collection stations right here. If these crates fill up, then this station will disable. Same with this one, same with this one. So, great way to use signals. Oh, there's another one too. You know, we've talked about this, but let me show you how I actually worked it out. So, you remember we talked about how something like a refinery has multiple products, and sometimes those products get used at different rates. For example, you can see here, petroleum gas is getting used. Light oil, well, actually that one's getting used too. And the heavy oil is not getting used. But if the heavy oil, you know, gets plugged up, okay, if it isn't getting used, like for example making lubricant, which is not being used either, so then the heavy oil used to make it starts to back up, and that means the refineries start to back up. But one thing you can do is oil cracking. Okay, so what I've done, you can turn heavy oil into light oil and light oil into gas. I've set up a system where each of these groups of chemical plants does oil cracking. This first group turns heavy into light, but it will only be allowed to do it through this pump. If this pump doesn't operate, these plants can't really operate. So I've set them up that this pump will stop working if the amount of oil in this tank, you know, basically the light oil, the product that it's trying to make, if this level gets above 15,000, this pump shuts off. Okay, and when it drops below 15,000, this pump shuts back on, and you can see it's the same condition. Enable the pump if the light oil drops below 15,000. And I did the same thing here for the petroleum gas. The light oil, when this petroleum gas drops below 15,000, then let's see, what does that say? Yeah, right now it's 9.2. Okay, so it's running. So these oil cracking chemical plants, these oil cracking chemical plants, are now creating petroleum gas from this light oil. So it's helping consume the heavy oil so that these refineries can operate. Anyway, it's a nice little way to keep things operating, keep things moving, and cross-leveling. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, there's some tips on signaling. Where did my tank go? Oh, it's all the way back up there. Okay. Well, let's wander. Also, I've got coal coming in from somewhere. Coal is getting dropped off here, so plastic can be made. Also, you've ever seen these? This is what I use for a 4-belt balancer. I tend to put belts in 2s or 4s, and this is a balancer that works for balancing 4 belts. Make them nice and even. So you're going to see them everywhere. In case you're wondering what it is, the little bow tie shaped configuration of belts, that's what that is. See, here as well. And then all of this is to produce, like I said, got green chips being produced over here. And that's producing red chips way up here. And the red chips and the green chips come down here to produce the blue chips. And the blue chips, as you can see, blue chips require reds and greens. They also require sulfuric acid. So from the refinery below, I've belted up sulfur. And then because of pipeline limitations, I thought it was best if the sulfuric acid was created here. So I've got my chemical plants creating sulfuric acid, and then the sulfuric acid comes into the sides of these assembly machines, which are arranged in quads. Okay, you can kind of see how the undergrounds work, how they feed them. So that's making our blue chips. And yes, I realize we're totally stressing out our green chip production. That's fine. It'll go up once we start getting blue belts, and that's something I want to do, but just not quite there yet. Actually, we probably are. Let's see what's required to make blue belts. Yeah, so we could totally do it. I'm just not doing it here at the moment. It's not a priority. But I'll tell you what is. I've been wanting to do this. I finally got one machine set up to make a rocket silo, so we can finally start thinking about space. Let's set this bad boy up right here. And let's get this going. Okay. So is it the same thing as before? Rocket parts? Alright. So I'm going to have to do a couple of things here. What we'll do is we will... Let's see, where does it end? Oops, no, not that. Alright. And then... Oh, why did I put that there? Not necessary. Okay, so... Did I or did I not? What am I missing? I'm missing... Oh, speed modules. Power armor. Oh, let's get some rocket fuel up in here. Oh, train almost got me. Okay. Time to think about that gate. Didn't I say we would set up a gate? Okay, let's get our tank. If we're gonna die, we're gonna take a locomotive with us in the process. So where am I going? Oh, right. Yeah, we are going to... If I got enough belts? Yeah, we're going to try to belt some rocket fuel up here if we can. I suppose we could set up a train to do it. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, beautiful. You have to look. I did not happen to notice if the rocket silo had a space for a satellite anymore. I mean, is that even a thing? Because, you know, at some point we are going into space. Is that still a win condition to send a satellite into space and then Space Age just picks up where that left off? I don't know. How much is a rocket part? Oh, it's one of each. I think that's different than it used to be. Am I wrong? Okay, rocket inventory. Yeah, it's totally different now. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Wow. I didn't think it would happen that fast. So does that mean that science will happen? That rocket science will be a thing, will show up? If that's the case, then we should remove this. Well, holy shit. Oh, it's different. It's total. The rocket looks different. It's no longer the three-headed monster anymore. So do I just hit the launch thing then? It says waiting to launch. So what next? There used to be the big launch button. Yeah, hit the enter key just to see if I can get in the thing. Automatic request from space platforms. Okay, so I did another thing. Okay, so space. A space platform starter kit. 60 seconds crafting time. So let's grab... What do I need to make it? I need 100... No, 60. Okay, well, I'm going to grab a couple of those. Let's grab 3 of them. Is that it? Is that what I need to make as a starter kit? Cargo landing pad. How much concrete? Plenty of steel. Okay. So what's it going to do? I'm genuinely curious. When it gets to 90 or it gets to 100%, what's it going to do? I told you this is a first look. So now what? Anything? I admit I have no idea what the hell. No space platform currently in orbit overhead. Build new space platform. Deliver cargo. Rocket inventory is empty. Rocket inventory must contain one space platform or have automatic requests from space platforms to enable to create a new space platform. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. I got one. Okay, so this says to me that maybe this would be a good thing. Okay. Space platform starter kits, anyone? What would I need? I need blue processing units. So we'll send this down here. Did I also see steel? Steel we got? Okay, this will work for a while. It's not infinite, but it will work. Okay. And then all this. I need more belts. Oh, no. No, I don't. Passive provider, yes. And then, let's see, T. I can't use those yet. Really? I can't make a requester chest? Well, that's lame. Okay. But I can make all kinds of yellow belts. I don't have to run for the hills. I can get all kinds of belts done. How big is this rocket? Whoa, one rocket capacity usage. 1 ton of 1 ton. Okay. Build new space platform. And let's call it Astral Prime. Oh, the next rocket's already queued. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Created a space platform. Excellent. Of course, I don't suppose it creates any space science, does it? So now what? Okay. We just built our first space platform. How about them apples? Fan-freaking-tastic. Can't travel to space platform with items in your trash slots or ammo slots. Only armor and guns are allowed. Okay. I do want to make power armor. Okay, well, let's see. So I can't bring ammo. Let's see. Travel space, can't travel space, items in your inventory. Trash slots. So I have to empty my complete inventory, is that right? Okay, a space plat. Oh, okay. So now, okay, build asteroid collector. I've built a space platform. So what does that mean? On a science platform. Okay. What do you need to make it? Ice, iron plate, and carbon. Okay. Well, looky there. Oh no. Let's take the belts. I think I make this mistake before when I don't put things, when I don't put my blueprints back in the book. So we're going to put them back in the book. All right. I'm assuming it wants me to empty my whole inventory. Am I wrong? It says items in your inventory slash... Okay. So that one's ready to go already. Is it making belts yet? Oh, it's working out. Okay, let's go ahead and get the belts built. Did I just see a whole bunch of starter kits? Okay, so let's put the starter kits in here. And belts. Do I see any other belts? No. Okay. All right, so... I'm assuming I'm doing the right thing. Honestly, don't know. But it seems to me that getting up into space is kind of important. If we can get everything out of our inventory, we'll go up to the platform, I guess. I'm assuming I can come back down. Am I about to die? Okay, so that'll make those things. Oh. Okay, here goes nothing. Huh, nice. Okay. Okay. So The platform hub is the core of the space platform. It receives items from planets and dispatches them to cargo landing pads. It is created by, which we know, we launched. Okay, so drop to a planet. Choose a planet to drop to an astral prime as an orbit over it. Okay. So we've done it. Alright, now I remember we have to, like, collect this stuff. What can we build now? Okay, oxide asteroid stack size 1. Metallic. Okay, well, so here we are. We're in space. Help. I am all for ideas now. If y'all have... Okay, do we hit the map? No. So I'm not quite sure at this point what to do. So I think this is a good place to leave it. Well, maybe I try to figure out exactly... It says paused. But if y'all have something, an idea, I'm all for it. Because at this moment, I'm not quite sure what to do. Stopped at novice. Yeah, no idea. Well, anyway, hope you learned a lot. I just got myself into space and I think I can get back down. But I'm just kind of curious, now what? And I invite comments. So please, if you got ideas, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Because, like I said, this is my first look. Never did this before. First time ever in Factorio off the planet. Y'all get to see it first. So, anyway, oh, yeah, and I'll try to put in the new, I'll try to process the new soundtrack and put some music into this. I always dub the music in afterward so that it just makes editing easier so I don't have to worry about chopping up the music. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you from thousands of miles above. Ciao.